Vaccinations. They're not just what Americans call their holidays.
What's known as herd immunity is really vital for the community to crack down on these diseases that can be deadly, particularly for babies, including whooping cough and so on.
Wherever there are gaps, there are risks to what's called herd immunity, or basically the immunity of the general population. So the higher the rate, the lower the risk. It's as simple as that.
No, it's not as simple as that, and if it was, I wouldn't be welcoming Kitty Flanagan.
Kitty Flanagan, problem solver. Herd immunity.
Thank you, Chuck. Well, you know how old people love to go on about how great it was back in the day when houses cost threepence halfpenny, when all you needed to make your own fun was the hoop and stick, always banging on about how exciting it was to get a contagious disease and hang out in an iron lung, wheezing away.
Hang on. I know that old people like to reminisce, but not about polio.
No, you're right. So why are some people so determined to see contagious diseases come back? Measles was all the rage recently in Romania, 3,400 cases and 17 deaths.
Wait, deaths from measles?
I know. I thought you just got a bit hot and spotty. But it turns out there are all sorts of complications that can occur from measles, like ear infections, encephalitis, death. That's the worst one, obviously.
Let's be clear, you're not a doctor.
No, and if I've learned one thing in recent years, it's that you don't need to be a doctor to talk shit about vaccinations. And now, to prove I'm not a doctor, in case there was any dispute, I'm going to explain herd immunity using this bus, some peg people, and a can of deodorant. Imagine the deodorant is a vaccine, immunising you against the disease of stink. Interesting factoid about stink, it was almost eradicated in the 1950s, but then those dirty hippies brought it right back in the 60s. Now, if everyone on the bus is vaccinated, nobody suffers from stink. If one person on the bus is not vaccinated against stink, then a few people suffer. But it's only one person, so they can still move away and take refuge amongst the vaccinated. Now, imagine half the bus is not vaccinated. There's no escaping stink. It's overpowering. There's nowhere to go. Some of the elderly passengers pass out. Oh, a newborn baby can't breathe properly. Suddenly the herd is compromised. Why? Because the number of people vaccinated against stink has fallen below 95%.
Right. So, see, I ignored most of that, but I did hear 95%. Is that where we need to keep vaccination rates?
Correct. That's according to the World Health Organisation. And in Australia, the rate of vaccinations among 5-year-olds is only 93%.
Which is less than 95.
Yeah, but wait, it gets heaps better. And when I say heaps better, I mean heaps worse. In certain communities, that rate has dropped to 61%. But no need to name and shame the Byron Shire. They know who they are. They're the Byron Shire.
Right. So how do we get herd immunity back up to an effective level?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure we can. I think they've won, they've compromised the herd, and now we're all going to die. All because these people are convinced their kids can fight off disease with their own puny child immune systems, which is weird, considering a lot of these same kids can't even fight off gluten and dairy. But measles and whooping cough, kapow! No problem there, apparently.
OK. So I take it you've got no solution, Kitty?
Well, I did have one idea. Why don't we target the kids directly, the same way junk food advertising does, and use pester power to increase vaccination rates? I call it the Happy Jab campaign. Kids will be lining up to get immunised if they know they're going to get one of these fabulous Happy Jab pets. Meet Mumpy the monkey. There's also Helen the Hoopy Hippo.
Hi, I'm Helen, and I have
And then there's my favourite, Leisel the Measel Weasel. That's right, kids. Get all your Happy Jabs and collect the whole set, available to vaccinated children only.
Thank you very much. Would you please take Kitty Flanagan?
Thank you.
Oh, who's a little monkey monkey? Who's a monkey monkey?